Hello, viewer. This is vlog day 12. I think it's day 12. It is July the 14th, I think. It must be July the 14th. It is the last day of camp, and I'm home, so it's not really the last day. It's after the last day of camp, but the last day of camp was technically this morning, so I'm exhausted. I've been watching YouTube and napping ever since I got home. What's Minecraft? Nap through the ending. Watch some Minecraft. Nap through the ending. Youth camp. So much. Um, so much. Okay. I guess we start from the beginning, right? So, had listened to, or the speaker was a guy that neither I nor any of my students had heard before. Jamie Montera. He was good, and he's been doing it for a while, so he knows what he's doing. And he's another one of these guys that had this ripped up childhood, and these guys with the ripped up childhoods make great speakers later in life. Oh, he was good. Um, I expected a certain cadence where, you know, first night you do this, second night you do this, the third night you did this. And I knew that it'd be a little different because we went to a weekend camp instead of a week-long one, which is just regular camp minus the day on a weekend. But this guy he did it differently, and I'm happy about that because just breaking out of old molds is what the camp needs to do. It needs to get out of these old ideas that the AG churches gotten wrapped up in. Okay, so Jay Montera. First night he did a great message, and I could tell you that probably have almost no idea what it's about right now. But what I do know is that the message was mostly to facilitate the prayer time and all the. Or at least that's what I told myself when I realized I didn't bring along a pen to write any notes with. But he did, for the prayer time, he did the salvation prayer where, yes, everybody come up for salvation. And you pray over them. And he did that, and we did it for less time than we normally would. Because right after that, he did a prayer for filling with the Holy Spirit. And I'm pretty sure that he just did salvation of the Holy Spirit that first night, which is kind of weird. His reasoning is that nowhere in the Bible does it say that after you're saved you should wait a little while before you get the Holy Spirit. But that night he did read out of Acts chapter 3, or the end of chapter 2, where Jesus tells them not to go out, but to wait until he gives them the Holy Spirit. So there is some precedent for putting a little bit of space between salvation and the Holy Spirit, but I guess it's not huge. But I'm pretty sure it counts as a special occasion because it was after the death of Jesus, and and just resurrection, that you had to say, wait, the Holy Spirit's coming for you. um, oh, just so much. Okay. So I went up there and I prayed for kids, and it was just as scary as it always is, praying for kids out there. Um, but it was less nerve-wracking. And every year it is less nerve-wracking when I go to the camp and I pray for kids. I like being on video here now. It makes a lot more sense to me now. Why I'm so afraid and why I shouldn't be. I guess I'm thinking too much that it's what I'm doing in the prayer time that's going to be affecting the kids, and I need to realize that it's not what I'm doing, it's what God's doing. And whatever God is doing during that prayer time, however He's using me, it's how it's going to work. And I just got to get a thing down in my head, whispering that I'm not good enough, and that what I'm saying is not going to reach the kids, and that I don't have the power of God in me to affect these kids' lives. I'm just trying to say it on my own, and that's not the case. God is working with me, and I just have to surrender myself to the idea that when I'm up there praying for those kids, that's not just me. It's God working through me in these kids' lives, and I think it'll be a lot easier for me to pray for them then. I will say now, I didn't feel like I was filled with the Holy Spirit with the initial evidence of speaking in tongues. I had some sounds run through my head that I said out loud, but I know they say, the preachers always say, you can't make this stuff up, but they sort of don't take into account people having heard it before, and I think that it's possible to piece together bits of what other people say, and let that come out of your mouth. I may have done that. It's not something I try to do, but I try and do what they tell me, and that's what I do. So I don't. It doesn't feel like the power of God flowing through me when that's happening. And I'm pretty sure it's a mental or emotional block that's keeping me from just giving my whole self over to the Holy Spirit. And more recently, I considered that it's possible that, like God hardened the heart of Pharaoh to letting the Israelites go, perhaps He's hardening my heart to the Holy Spirit because I'm not ready, because He wants me to wait for something to happen, something else in my life that's a possibility. Or whatever it is, I'm just trying to go with God's will here. So the next day, we did prayer for healing and more Holy Spirit, and healing and being freed from sin, and just becoming free to obey God. Yes, like having chains broken, free from addictions. Basically, pray that the Holy Spirit will work power in people's lives in the various ways they can do it. Just having chains broken was the second night. Was pretty powerful, and Jay Montreal is pretty good at making it so that the counselors that are praying for the kids, get that they're fairly prepared for the prayer, that they're not, that we aren't caught off guard or pushed further than we think we can go. At least that's what it felt like for me. And sometimes I've just been put in a position where where all the counselors are asked to pray further than I feel like I'm capable of praying uh, for, or in the way of. And that happened a couple times in years past where I just I had to walk away from the altar area and just pray by myself because I didn't think I could do anything to help the kids in the prayer time. But I hadn't felt that way this time. I mean, there were a couple times where I wanted to, but I knew I had to stay and pray because it was more important that I pray for those kids than I give in to my fear. Okay, I'll interject in here, getting away from the spiritual stuff. I took one guy to camp, or I guess Sage Meadow took one guy to camp. Wesley Watchers. We had planned to bring more, but with all the camp week switching around stuff, a couple of them had to drop out. Just bad timing. We brought 4 girls. Holly Burns, Madison Olive, Cheyenne Washburn, Wes's half sister, I think. They had a rough childhood, and I don't even know what to say. It's all very complicated, and you let them talk to you, and understanding the whole story isn't as important as being sensitive to their feelings. So I didn't ask questions. I let them speak when it was time for them to speak, when they were comfortable with it. We also brought Taylor Johnson. And I just gotta say, I'm so proud of those kids. We have, Wes and Cheyenne, they got baptized with their whole family, baptized in water a couple months ago at our church. And that first night, Wes was up there to be saved for the first time. Which is always confusing for me, because really baptism in water is supposed to be something you do after you're saved as a public declaration. So I think it's possible that they, and maybe even their parents, were really certain what they were doing when they were getting water baptized. But Wes is, he's great. He went after it. He was so excited for the spiritual aspect as well as the games at camp. He absolutely loved it there, and he's already planning for next year for playing the games there. And Cheyenne was able to get into a trusting relationship with the girls that we brought. I think she even opened up to a few of the girls that were in her cabin. She was able to make some friends, and she opened up to all of our crew in a way I don't think she would have if we hadn't done this. Okay, the third night and the last night we did message and prayer time. We did the call, I guess, to it's a prayer for God God's mission and the vision for the students' lives and for the counselors' lives, or is more their immediate future. We did something that I hadn't done before, which kind of makes sense. That it takes more pressure off of the individual counselors. Did a gauntlet prayer or tunnel prayer, where you have the pastors line the aisles and put their arms up, or no, pastors line the aisle. I always imagine putting the arms up so they're walking through a tunnel, but it's not that. They have the kids walk through, and pastors pray over each kid as they go through, so you don't have to worry about if the kid's getting anything from you personally. In like when you're praying for one kid for a long time, and just being afraid that the prayer isn't affecting the kid, that he's not getting closer to God while you're praying, because these kids it's more of them being responsible for it, because they have people praying over them the whole time. They get to feel that love from each of the people that they encounter, that lays their hands on them, and probably feel power coming from some of them, like Holy Spirit just pouring off some of the people that are up there, and they get into the Spirit of God, and by the time they get through, they're feeling something. And I think it's good doing it that way. The kids after this week, more than I've seen them before, they really want to get after witnessing to people, getting kids together for a youth group, going on a missions trip, and just helping people, doing something that matters. They want to, more than I've seen them in a long time. And I'm so happy. I want to do something too. I got Kyle Embry, the Youth Alive director, gave us free materials, or links to free materials, so I downloaded that. I'm gonna look over it, and I think we're gonna we'll do a movie night in a couple weeks, and maybe we'll do that video thing I was planning a couple weeks ago, and then after that, get that the free resources Kyle Embry guys start working on doing that with our youth group, and inviting kids over. I think we can really do something. I think in 3 weeks we could have about 20 kids at least coming to a meeting and being able to really enjoy what they're doing and really get into God. I think we can turn around what has been happening to this youth group, just losing or standing still. I think that'll stop. I think we'll reverse, and we'll just be pushing forward. And I know right now that I'm super excited about it, but in a couple weeks I'm going to be super scared. It's going to hit me that when the kids that are already there now start bringing more kids in, that some more weight's going to be put on me. And I guess I just need to pray that God holds the weight for me, and that the kids hold their own, and God holds the weight for the kids. Because, like I tell them, the kids are responsible for the youth ministry. I'm just there to let them know what God's saying. They're the ones that get to do the real interaction with the youth. God showed me during that last night, that vision. It was so difficult opening myself up, so I didn't see anything, and then I saw these sort of masked faces, like a mask of darkness over the faces, coming through doors to me, and the masks started coming off. At least that's what I think I saw. That's what I told the youth that I saw, and I had a feeling that we're getting a lot of kids from Northwest coming to our youth group to take off their masks and become real people and to show people who they really are. And I think that'll be exciting and scary and awesome. But also jazz and pop. And I really hope that they can stick with it, that they don't just let this energy die. I talked to them about when we were at camp, and I talked to some other kids that didn't have a male counselor there, that what this really hinges on is being able to keep that energy we had at camp going. So I just pray so hard that they will keep it up and they won't just go back to what they were doing. Yeah. This morning, breakfast, everybody's tired. Oh, we got robbed. Green team won the Ironman, which we were in second place before the Ironman. It should have put us firmly in first place beyond anyone's ability to knock us out, and we didn't win. Another team won one that wasn't even really close to it. And our girls got third place right behind us, and they didn't expect to get anything better than seventh. So, yeah, I feel like we were a little robbed there, but it's not what's important. I mean, personally, I'd enjoy camp all the more if we didn't have games and we just had lessons in the game time, or we like broke up into smaller, not really teams but groups, and we played smaller games and we had lessons attached to them. I'd be great with that, but it doesn't seem like the kind of thing that this camp is going to move toward at all. I didn't yell as much, so I didn't lose my voice. And the music, they like to do newer stuff at camp, stuff that a lot of the kids haven't heard before, and if they haven't heard it, then I haven't heard it. So, I mean, I like doing songs that aren't necessarily classics, but ones that I'm familiar with, cadences that are simple, familiar, rhyme schemes, things that you can flow into easily, and they had some pretty complex songs where they changed stuff up. And I mean, they weren't bad, and the girl they had on keyboard had a really good studio voice for singing, but it's not the kind of thing that works out great for actual worship time. Like it would be a really good studio band, because a couple of their songs, they're like good songs, but they weren't great worship. I guess worship is all about how you enter into it, but it's easier if the stuff that you're using to enter into worship is a real connection to God. If you can sing a song and feel like you're singing it straight to God, I think that is a really good worship song. I didn't really hear more than one or two songs they sang that I could really feel like I was singing them to God. And I mean, that's all I'm saying. It's not that they were bad, it's just that I didn't think they were great for worship. Yeah. That's all about worship. I don't like to get down on people. I'm not. They were good. They're good singers. They're talented. But I, I just don't. I'm not sure that they're great at worship. And I guess one of the big deals is that you gotta be able to enter into your own worship. And a lot of the students and counselors, they have a difficult time entering into worship without someone leading them in words, in tune, with a voice, because they did a time where you just sing out your own song, give praise to God, and you don't get a whole lot of just people lifting up their voice. Every once in a while, what you get is one person yelling out a message and everyone else listening to them, which just bugs me a little bit sometimes. Okay. We brought 5 kids to camp. We brought 5 kids back, so that's always a plus. And I think we brought them back more than they were. Just more. That's great. And I've got a lot of work to do. And it starts with prayer and the Bible. And it continues into milk and eggs, because that's what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm gonna have to get the feeling I have to do a major reorganize on the parts of the cooler I work in most. If I'm not fired, just because as I take time off, I don't think I will leave, but this is a really bad idea for my manager to let me off. Not that I'm not thankful, but must have been a God thing, because I'm not sure the daily cooler survived the weekend. We'll see tomorrow. I'll see tomorrow. We stopped by Taco Bell for food on the way back. It was pretty good. Had taco salad. I got home, house was warm, went out to get the mail, didn't get everything that we wanted, but there were a couple of bills in there. Gotta call Dad about that. I turned on the AC when I got back from the mailbox. I meant to do that before. It was hot in here. It's cool now because I have the main AC on, and it's been blowing in the room that I'm in right now. I got the resources Kyle Embry put up online downloaded, and I uploaded all of the camp videos and pics I took, and I emailed the link to the other youth pastors in our dorm, because I told them I would, and I did. I haven't gotten any response, so I don't know how it worked out for them. Yeah. The other counselors in my dorm were Cody Krim from somewhere near Waxahachie, or Maypro at least, maybe not Waxahachie, and Clint Russell from 2 hours away in some direction. I'm not sure where they're from. I didn't talk to Clint a whole lot, but a little bit. He's a good guy. Apparently has gone through AG certification, so he's pretty familiar with the AG and with the camp stuff. And Cody is pretty new to not camp, but to leading youth and being a leader at camp, which is weird, because when I look at a lot of the youth leaders, even if they're younger than me, I look at them as being more mature than me. Just because I don't usually think of myself as ready for the job that I'm doing. But Cody was it was good. We had some religious discussion, debate stuff going on, just trying to get ideas clear, which was fun and interesting because it was mostly him asking me questions and me answering questions, and him asking me more questions. Uh, Probably because I usually give complicated, unclear answers. I mean, I don't draw hard lines too often, but I can draw clear lines sometimes. And I have this multiple perspective view on everything, so I give that a lot of times. Uh, but I do know that there are hard lines in Christianity. Uh, I also know that grace and salvation wipe away those hard lines. I mean, they're still there, but they don't stop you from getting anywhere. So, that's, I guess, some of the stuff we talked about. I talked to the kids, and the kids were good. There were a couple kids in our cabin that didn't have a male counselor there, just like the girls from my group didn't have a female counselor from my church. So I sort of did some leadership with them, like other small group stuff, and just I guess make sure that they weren't without a male leader completely, you know. But I didn't don't hover over any. I mean, listen, hovering over them. I did take quite a bit of picture and video, but I didn't get as much stuff like of our kids that I brought. I think the only way I can do that is if I gave the girls a camera, and they took some pictures. When they never took the camera out of the door, I guess they were probably afraid to lose it. Also, whoever they had taken pictures does not know how to focus the camera, so yeah, got a lot of blurry-ish photos from them. I guess I just have to have them. I get like they get to keep their phones, but it's primarily for taking pictures because, especially with this shorter camp, the leaders aren't with the kids really enough to get a lot of good pictures of the kids doing stuff. And the kids are the ones that are in more position to get those really good action shots. Oh, okay, this is way too long. I might even break it up into two. I'll probably break it up into two segments, whatever. I don't even know how or why I do it. It just seems like this is going to be more than half an hour, and I'm trying to keep the vlogs under 15 minutes. So I've got a lot of prayer and preparation and job to do. And I have to throw myself into this youth thing. I know it was never a part of my plan, but it's a part of God's plan. So I have to stop avoiding just being all in about it. I have to throw myself into it and make this a priority for my life. And I think with the kids, making God a priority and really throwing themselves into it, and me throwing myself into it, I think it'll really grow. And if it grows with the kids and the kids can reach their parents, the whole church will grow, and it'll be pretty amazing. So I hope that is a result of this weekend at camp. One last thing, I finished the fiction book and I continued reading the Disconnected Generation book and a little bit of the Holy Spirit book. And the Disconnected Generation book is talking about mostly how you use the points that we had just gone over to actually connect with the kids through just difficult points in their life. And the Holy Spirit book was going through the rest of Genesis and into Exodus about how the Spirit was with Moses and then Joshua as prophets. The Spirit was the power that they wielded, I suppose you say. So, yeah. This was day 12 of the vlog, I think. And it's going over youth camp that was this last week, the 11th through the 14th, I think, probably. Today should be July the 14th, 2014. End of vlog day 12. Goodbye.